All right. Welcome everyone to our Tuesday night professional networking on Zoom for Collaborating Connections. Collaborating Connections is a one of the dozen TTR networking groups. TTR to the Rescue networking has been around for well over 12 years. Are we at 13 yet? 13 years? All right. And Collaborating Connections has been an active group within TTR networking for 5.5 or a little more years. So welcome everyone tonight. My name is Dawn Evans Casey, and I am the leader of the group. I want to share with you that the TTR to the rescue acronym actually stands for, it's an acronym for the tenets that are very important to our organization. The R is for relationship building, which we think is key to the success of small businesses. The E is for education, and we invite individuals to not only introduce themselves and their business, but to tell us what is special and unique about their business, how they help improve the lives of the individuals that are their client base, and what's going on new and different within their industry. The S is for success strategies, as we often share what works well for us, hoping that that might be able to be duplicated or utilized within other small businesses, individuals who have the same challenges or deal with the same concepts. The C is for community. We not only want to thrive and succeed ourselves, but we want each other to thrive and succeed, as well as the community groups and nonprofit organizations in the locations that we serve. The RESCU, U is for understanding, and we seek to share and listen and understand each other so that we can help each other and be wonderful referrals to each of our member businesses. And the second E is for execute. On a weekly basis, we gather, we talk, we interact, we share, and all of that would mean nothing if we did not go forward and execute the things that we learn, the concepts that work, and make sure that we can all successfully thrive in our businesses. So that's what TTR Networking to the Rescue is all about. We love to meet on a weekly basis via Zoom. And on this format, we're able to invite individuals from coast to coast across the United States, as well as individuals who may participate from other countries. We want to get to know you and your small business. So if you are within our listening audience and are thinking that you would like to join us live one Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we would love to meet you. So reach out to us via one of our many social networking contacts. Collaborating Connections is on Facebook and LinkedIn and Alignable. As well, our parent company, TTR Network, has an active Facebook group and website. So there are many ways to get in touch, and we look forward to seeing and hearing from you soon. We generally open our weekly meetings acknowledging wins, and hopefully all of us have some. We did not meet last week because of the 4th of July holidays, so anything wonderful, new that you'd like to share with us that has happened to you and your business within the last 2 weeks, I will open the floor.
Okay, I'll say it. I passed the AHIP for Medicare for 2024. So,
yay!
Individual companies I have to finish their testing for. So, but that's the big one.
Wonderful. Great news. Congratulations, Nancy.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That's really, and a lot of people don't do all the stuff because it takes so much work to do it. I'm starting to meet a lot of people who just do whatever because they don't want to take the test. They just do so that's cool. We are just seeing a lot of people checking us out. And I think that's always good. And finding out some interesting things about our members, not meaning anything secret or anything, but just stuff that I didn't realize that I guess we are offering to them, which is all good. That I didn't know we were doing. That sounds funny. We just weren't doing I didn't realize we were doing some of the stuff we're doing. People really do care about building good relationships and not just volume of bodies in a room. That's kind of gross to say it that way. You know what I mean? So that's good to me. I feel like we've been doing something good for 12 years, almost 13 in August, almost. So
Good.
yep. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Robert, do you have any wins you'd like to share?
Really no. Well, I guess so. Some wins we had. Had a few closings last week, so that was good there. That was always a good thing there. Doing helping folks starting a workshop, the credit workshops with Indiana Housing Authority. So this Thursday will be my second time in there doing that. So it's always good. So it was the wins, things are moving forward. Business is picking up as well.
Awesome. Good to hear. I've got a couple of wins to share, actually. My first win is we successfully hosted a family reunion here in Indianapolis this past weekend. And not only hosted, but Claiming Your Roots had an opportunity to be a sponsor of the family reunion. And both my husband and I did educational sessions on genealogy and family history during our family reunion. And, family members attended and learned and really had a lot of positive feedback for us. So just to have pulled that off, that was the first family reunion since COVID for the Casey family and the many connected surnames. So it was just wonderful, heartwarming to see everyone. Hard work to plan and pull off, but we got that done. And I always enjoy when we have the opportunity to kind of merge various interests into one. To get in that family history and genealogy was really important, because there is a lot more to getting together for us than, just eating and socializing, but it was definitely a working event also. My other win is that if some of you may remember, no, why can't I think of his last name? Robert, with our video guy. We had a visitor, let's see, Deanna, with the sanctuary, the healing sanctuary. And she was looking to do a marketing video for her business. So even though Robert was no longer a member of our active member of our group, I knew that that was his service. I recommended him, and I had the opportunity to interview Deanna on video while Robert produced that video production for them. So, that's what we do in making connections and recommendations and referrals. And I'm just glad that all worked out. I look forward to Deanna coming back and visiting with us once again here at Collaborating Connections. And hopefully Robert as well, with his, now I hate that I can't remember.
Dokes.
Robert Dokes, yes,
And
with his video services that he may come back as well. But that was just a pleasure to be able to connect them and see small businesses work together as well. Let me see. Was that it? The wins? I guess that's all that I have to share right now, but it's been a good couple of weeks. And I'm glad that we're back together after the holidays. I hope that everybody, got some rest, had enjoyable time, and we just jump right back into the mix. Oh, my third win. Well, this is the first meeting in July. Our July theme is Jot It Down. And generally, with the Jot It Down theme, we're talking about resources to help organize our business, good ideas to take note of to help improve our businesses, etc. So I had the chance yesterday and today to attend the Indiana Black Expo Business Conference that was held downtown. And they had various sessions, how to work with public sector, private sector, governmental entities when we're looking to win contracts or participate in projects, from small dollars to multi-million dollar projects. So our discussion today, and what I really appreciated from those business sessions, is I got a long list of how small business owners can appropriately prepare to communicate, negotiate, and work with external entities to win contracts, participate in projects, and reach that purchasing person within the organization and talk with them and what they recommend. So we're going to go through the lists of how to be better prepared for those circumstances for successful outcomes, and things that we should avoid or not do ahead of time. Hopefully that they all reiterated throughout the conference is that they are very interested in the success of small businesses, minority businesses, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses. So there you go. That's another win that I was able to participate and gather some great content to bring to you all today. Okay. Let's see. I'd like to go to Jennifer Johnson and ask for any updates within TTR networking that you'd like to share.
well, I do, yes, Dawn, thank you. I do want to say again, we're getting a new website, so that's a big deal. And I would just tell everybody to hold on tight because we're entering the creation and everything phase here in the next few days. And then the project has been assured to me that it will be done by Labor Day weekend. And it's literally something where I've never done this myself because I don't know how to do this, but what you do is you literally turn off one and turn on the other one. And anyway, part of it's already created, and there's like some migration kind of things that have to be done, and so it'll happen over Labor Day weekend. So that's why your event in September being the following week will be good. Give us some time to get it out, and we'll be promoting it soon. So Dawn, we'll have to make sure we get the right vision that you guys all have and get it out there. But so we have as always, we have a happy hour every month. Next week, it is, I can't believe it. I mean, I keep doing this. Every time something comes up, I'm like, that came up so fast. My gosh. Next Thursday, we're going to be happy houring it at the Chicago's Pizza in Fishers on 37. And I've actually got to make a trip over there, but it's the 20th. And it'll be I believe it's the 20th, and it'll be from 6 to 7:30. And those that have been able to attend our happy hours, they are just kind of laid back events, and everybody just kind of comes in and gets to meet some new people. We do a few like interactive things to hopefully get people kind of connected and talking to each other. And I have some ideas already, but anyway, that's next Thursday, the 20th. And then we have our open networking at the Haverstick on the 28th, which is the following Friday. And the Haverstick is down on Haverstick Avenue, I think is where it is. It's on the backside of a really nice church, but we've got that going. As of right now, we do not have a TTR Presents, and I think it's just because we've got so much going on with the website stuff that I don't know if we're going to actually have one this month. But you can go to our website, check out our events. We are a local connector for inspiresmall.biz. So there's events of ours on there. All of our meetings are on there. All of our regular weekly meetings. So with the new website come a lot of new opportunities for connecting different levels of membership. Anybody that's a member currently or in the next month and a half, whatever it would be before Labor Day, actually would be grandfathered into our current situation. So that's good for everybody who's visiting or wants to visit and wants to join a group. And like I said earlier, there are a lot of people out there looking for networking opportunities. I don't think that ever goes away. There's just certain times a year where it becomes obvious that, and right now we're more than halfway through the year of 2023. So if you don't know what you're going to do to achieve your goals, join one of our groups. And this would be the best one. I'm just saying. All right, there we go. But that's the updates. We have every month, we have at least 2 or 3 different opportunities to just, meet other people from the other groups. And then as we were talking earlier about our own scheduled for this group doing their visitor day, we have those kind of things. And then we have TTR Presents, and we have combined, some collaborative events that we do with some other local organizations, which is pretty cool too. So anyway, I'll leave that at where it is, but
Wonderful.
yeah, good to see you. Good to be asked.
Well, thank you so much for filling us in on those updates, Jennifer. We much appreciate it. And we're always inviting people to stay abreast of what's happening within Collaborating Connections and TTR Networking through the TTR Networking website, and just watching updates on the Facebook page for Collaborating Connections or the LinkedIn page. So lots of ways to connect and stay aware of what's going on. With that, I will go ahead and let's start our roundtable introductions. And I would like to ask Nancy Vesley, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure. Nancy Vesley, IHC Specialty Benefits. I'm a local licensed health insurance agent with IHC Specialty Benefits. I do both under 65 coverage and then the Medicare and over 65. I help people determine the best direction to go with their health care. I heard from a couple other people during the week that they lost their Medicare. Remember, I've been telling you Medicare was rolling people off? Well, it's affecting it. It's affecting it. And by the time I hear from them, they're already rolled off. So it's like, didn't pay attention to the earlier messages. But it's happening. So if you know anybody that's got rolled off of Medicaid, have them give me a call and we can talk about what options they have there. Usually with lower income, you get some nice subsidies off the marketplace, and marketplace would be open to them to jump into after getting rolled off of Medicaid. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions for Nancy Vesley and IHC Insurance?
You just have to make sure, Nancy, that we're talking about Medicaid, right?
Yes.
When you're talking about people getting knocked off.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But if anybody has got questions in general, Medicaid is where you qualify for certain, when your income is a certain level, correct? Is that what
Yes.
Medicaid?
And because it freaked me out when I realized it was Medicaid is the state of Indiana. Medicare is the federal government.
Okay,
So when you fall off the state of Indiana's coverage, you can then get into the marketplace, which is the federal government.
okay,
Medicaid is what they're rolling people off.
right.
So the state
So-
of Indiana is rolling people off then. Huh?
Yes.
Yuck. But it sounds like it's something, I mean, you've got to find people who know what they're doing to help you make sense of it, right? I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
What it sounds like. All right. Thank you so much, Nancy. Another win that I could that I should have shared initially is I had a chance to have a one-on-one discussion with Aaron yesterday morning. We had a really good discussion about his business and his offerings. So that it's related to healthcare and insurance. I'm going to ask Aaron, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
For sure, yeah. And Nancy, have we met before? I think we have. I'm trying to remember where. All the networking is kind of blurring together, but I'm pretty sure we met before. You're muted.
Yeah, we met at one of Ryan's networking events, and then we met up at a Starbucks up on Meridian.
Yeah, okay, very good, very good. So I also do health insurance. What might be different, what I do that might be different from what Nancy does, is MedMutual Protect, the company I work for, has a policy that that comes with prescription rebates, and this is what Dawn and I were talking about yesterday. The way it works is every time you fill a prescription, you get a $25 rebate check. So it doesn't matter what the prescription is, it doesn't matter why you take it, it doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter if your current insurance already covers it or not. Every time you fill any prescription, you get a rebate check for $25, up to $600 per year. So it's a no-brainer for anybody on prescriptions. This is a no-brainer. If you know anybody taking prescription medication, send them to me and I'll get them a rebate.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that was the big thing that he's been sharing he shared at the Friday
Mhm.
for networking, and he and I talked it, and it's like, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it really
It
is
is.
a no-brainer, I get it. But people don't understand it, like any insurance, right? It's too late when it's too late when you can't do it after the fact, right? It's like any of that. So yeah. So it's important to sit down with people. But go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to
Okay.
jump on.
Do we have any questions for Aaron and his prescription insurance program? I know, Aaron, that you had mentioned that there were some age focus or limitations within your programming. Do you want to share that with the group as well?
Yeah, so the minimum age is 19 and the maximum age to sign up for this is 85. So as long as you sign up before you turn 86, you are guaranteed the policy will be in force for life, but you cannot sign up after you turn 86. You cannot sign up before you turn 19. Premiums are also dependent on age. So it depending on how old you are and how we set up the policy, the premiums can vary from I think it's $15 to $118 per month, depending on how we set it up. So it does vary. There are age brackets that determine the premiums.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Much appreciated. All righty. Are there any other questions for Aaron tonight? Aaron, I'm going to invite you to add your name and contact information into the chat room. Following the meeting, what I routinely do is send out a follow-up email to all of our members and the attendees on this call, and that they can use that information to reach out and schedule one-on-ones, which are highly encouraged, because I know that there's always so much more to talk about than we can allow in our 90-minute calls. So Kimberly as well, everybody, if you could please put your contact information in the chat box, and I'll share that with everyone a little later. Now let me invite Robert Hailey. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Robert Hailey with Old National Bank. I'm the Community Mortgage Loan Officer over here. I specialize in low to moderate income folks who become homeowners. I've been in the business over 25 years, so definitely bring a wealth of knowledge in that sense there itself. But my whole goal here is really to help anyone, but mainly focus on the low to moderate income folks. Again, Robert Hailey, Old National Bank.
Super awesome. Thanks for sharing, Robert. Do we have any questions for Robert Hailey with Old National Bank's mortgage program tonight?
I was just going to say, Robert, you said at the beginning when you that you're new and good as you guys you've been doing some closings, which is very exciting. Did I hear the day that we were there for the open house that you're looking for a different spot for your office, or is that because I think people need to know where, I mean, because it is kind of, you don't even really see it until you get almost in the, you're in the parking lot. It's like, oh, there it is. I mean, it was a very nice office, but were you looking for something different?
Well, no, we found what we did is just recently, so we have not opened yet, but this office will maintain itself. We'll open up another we're going to be opening another office by September, where Eastern Star used to be a credit union on 30th Street there before you get to Emerson. We are moving in there to have a presence inside the community there with a full service branch right there.
Cool. Okay. I just wondered if that was like, so you're going to keep that branch though, the one that you're sitting in. I didn't even look at the picture. Sorry, Rob.
We maintain this one, and we open up another one there. Because initially we're looking to build or take over a facility somewhere on this side of town, but I guess real estate people found to work the deal out, where we maintain 2 locations over here.
Cool. That's exciting.
So, yeah, so we're good.
Okay. Very cool.
Okay. Robert, I've got a question from you that I was thinking about based upon the Indiana Black Expo business conference that I attended. They had a session that was about, financing for business owners, but they talked about the importance of personal finance contributing to your company's creditworthiness, especially in the beginning, and then vice versa. When a individual who is an entrepreneur and perhaps their business is something that they operate out of their home, is there some leverage or consideration on the small business contributing to the household net worth when they are applying for mortgage credit, mortgage financing?
Well, typically what happens with small business folks is that there's not enough revenue for themselves. And when you're a small business, you have to contribute at least 35% of your income funds into trying to get a mortgage or anything like that itself, but having to stand on his own. So it's a unique situation with somebody starting out, a startup. They're not profitable, but this whole thing is just try to build their resources up to get themselves where their business is doing enough business to support them. But a lot of times that's a 3 to 5 year window for people to get to that point there, help to get in position, because we have to use their tax returns to try to credit qualify them. And a lot of times they don't generate enough revenue, or they're writing off too much of everything. And I could tell you, I'm not mad about why people do that, but it doesn't help when I'm trying to qualify them, because that's reducing their income itself. So really, they have to figure out I always tell people, I say, sit down with your accounting person to help you to pull together the right business plan for yourself, how you need to work on from a budget standpoint, and then understand how much you need to make and how much you need to support yourself in order to qualify. And that's what most people don't do. They should be doing that first before they do anything. And then so that's when they work that out, and then hopefully that the revenue is coming in to sustain them. So it's really I say there was no one answer for them, but it's just a matter of generating enough revenue itself there, and sitting with a tax person to know if they can run toward those numbers, to know how you can support them and get them to be able to use their tax returns to support them what they're trying to do. But it's all about, is your business viable? Is the business making money? And is it making enough money to support you and your family? And sometimes it's not, sometimes it is. And sometimes it may be doing it, but they're blending everything together. You don't know what they're doing. And so I see a lot of that a lot of times. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There was also talk about individuals utilizing the equity in their home for a line of credit, or refinancing the home to utilize for a business startup. I don't know what percentage of time, is that on the rise? Do you see that happening a lot? Or are people now utilizing more sources like crowdfunding and grants, exclusive and separate from their home equity for?
Well, if you don't, if you own a home, that is your best resource, because you're paying yourself back. You're not adding, because your mortgage is your mortgage. If you go out and do something else, you're adding on another layer of responsibility to yourself that's typically hurt people. So really, if you can borrow from yourself, take the line, create money there yourself, and use that to do what you do your business, that's better for you. But if you need a bigger lump, it depends on how much money you need, but that's the best source for folks. That's always been around, but a lot of people, when they have a small business, a lot of them are not homeowners. Unfortunately, they're not. And then some who are homeowners quit their job and then go out and try to start the business, and then try to do a line of credit, and then they can't get approved. I said, well, so it's a well thought out plan that, hey, while you're working, create your line of credit, and before you quit your job, in order to get approved, then you move right along and do your business. But a lot of times people don't do that. They quit the job, start the business, then try to get a line of credit, and then they don't qualify. So it's make people, and they do it. Hey, it's a great opportunity for folks that first understand, put a good business plan and work the plan, and it works out. But that's a line of credit is a huge opportunity for folks or borrow from themselves to start the business, and they create some revenue for themselves, and so they have to go out and create another loan and have to be obligated to paying another bill out there, and a lot of times they can't make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, so good. You got some good points. Hopefully people are listening, but talk to someone first before you do anything.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. That's why we ask you these questions with your vast background and knowledge and experience in mortgage lending. We know that you are the go-to guy for great advice in those areas. Thanks so much, Robert.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other questions for Robert Hailey this evening? Kimberly?
What states can you do mortgages in? Can you help me with some of these people down here in Kentucky?
I can do mortgages in all states. Only states we don't want to do a loan in is we would do a first loan in Texas, but we won't do a second. You can't. Texas is very unique, so but we do loans in all states itself.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry.
No, great to know. Great to know. Thanks. All right, moving right along. Kimberly Good, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
I am. And I am so sorry that I'm late. I ran into the house and started throwing stuff into the air fryer and roasting some vegetables in the oven, and then just time got away. So thank you, Dawn, for emailing me. Do apologize. I am so glad. I remember Aaron. I met Aaron in person at the meeting. And Robert, oh my gosh, you are the first mortgage banker that I have ever heard. Like, I'm sitting here while you're talking, I'm like, preach, yes, absolutely, amen, yes. So payroll. How many freaking customers come to me and they're like, I want to write off everything because I don't want to pay taxes. And I'm like, right, great theory. But what happens when you want to buy a house? And what happens when you want to buy a car? And what happens when you show a loss on your business for all these years? You know, there's so many things people want to show a loss. And our method, like our way of doing thing is, let's not focus on writing off everything, because all of our focus is to make money. We got into business to make money and to help other people. So let's do that. And let's use these numbers to prepare ourselves for taxes, because everybody pays taxes. Business owners, W-2 employees, everybody pays taxes. So instead of avoiding it, let's work and make a plan for it. When your business shows that it's making money and it is profitable, it is much easier to get a mortgage. Your mortgage banker is going to thank you for showing you make money. You're going to be able to get a loan to get a car. You can get a loan for your business. I mean, I'm not saying you can't, but I mean, the possibilities are a lot better when you're showing money instead of showing loss. And we have a situation where there's a company that they want to sell their business. Nobody's going to be looking at a business to buy it that's in the red all the time. So that's why we preach to our customers, show you're making money. Let's just work together to use these numbers and make a plan for taxes and not make it so difficult. Anyway, Robert just got me on a whole soapbox because I was like, yes, absolutely. So we work with clients all across the United States. I am based in Louisville, Kentucky, but as almost everybody on this call knows, I like to travel. I'm all over the place. And so I work with clients everywhere within the United States. The payroll portion, if you know any business that's trying to do payroll on their own without using a payroll platform, just absolutely tell them no. They don't have to use me, but they need to use somebody, because I would love for them to use me, but never, ever, ever try to do payroll on your own on an Excel sheet. Oh my gosh, it's just a nightmare. Do your payroll with a payroll provider or a platform. But yeah, I'm Kimberly Good with Good Business Solutions. Right now I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. And thank you, Robert, for all your words, because it is much easier to send people to someone as knowledgeable like you. I'm so glad to hear what you were saying. So thank you.
Super awesome. Thank you, Kim. Do we have any questions for Kimberly Good of Good Business Solutions, Bookkeeping and Payroll?
So you in Kentucky there, so you do business, you helping people all over though. Okay, cool. So I can probably, sometimes I get people in here, a lot of times they start up business and they need someone to get them together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you do that work itself to help people to get themselves, set them up correctly to start doing business correctly.
We do that. And a lot of times people will come to us once they've gone to a mortgage banker or someone looking for a loan, and they'll come to us because they haven't done their bookkeeping.
Mhm.
And the person has requested P&Ls or different statements, depending on how they're structured. And so we do a cleanup. We get them all the way caught up, get them set. And we would love to continue working with them in the future, or we can just kind of get them cleaned up, guide them, and let them go on their own. Usually,
Well,
but
well, that's great then. It's good to know, man. I definitely will get your information so I can send some people your way, because that's what a lot of times people come in and they've been doing business for 5 years. I said, well, and they have no tax returns, no nothing. I said, well, you got to first start, unfortunately, I said, you have to pay Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
I don't know, I said, and I don't know how I said, unless you're making millions and millions of dollars, but you're not.
Right.
So let's figure out I said, you don't know what your value is because you can't tell you. I said, no one knows your value. You don't even know what it is. So I said, you need to get that squared away first. And before you know where you start, I said, you say I made $100,000. I said, really? You can't show it.
Absolutely.
So someone like yourself, Kimmy, would definitely be a bright light for people. So I definitely will, you and I'll talk.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to keep your contact and connect with you. Thank you.
All right.
Kim, I've got a question for you. Is there a target size, a sweet spot of a small business employee base for them to move from, doing it themselves to a platform or a provider? If a small business is, say, it's literally a family working together to make that business. Is that worthwhile doing a payroll on a platform or with a provider, or what is the kind of sweet spot for implementing that?
So for honestly, payroll is such a beast that it is definitely even if you have one person, we have realtors that are just one person. Now you have to be structured as an S corp. If it's structured as an LLC, then you can't. If you're an LLC or a DBA or a single sole proprietor, you can't run payroll. If you're an S corp or a C corp, you're required to run payroll. Even if it's one person, and I always tell people, I'm like, for here in Kentucky, a 941, a K1, a UI3, a WH1. Then we have Jefferson County, St. Matthews. And if you don't know what those things that I just spouted off are, you need to have somebody do because those are the forms that have to be filled out every quarter. And then when we do payroll, and a lot of them, there's, when the payroll providers, the platforms, they'll take that tax out on the time you ran the payroll. They're due quarterly, but if you take and pay it quarterly, you're paying this huge chunk of money every quarter. So it's easier to pay yourself and go ahead and pay the taxes at the exact same time. And that's what these platforms like, Gusto, ADP, Paychecks, that's what they'll do, is they'll pay the taxes at the time. If it is if it's one person or 150 people, I always suggest a platform for sure. They're not expensive. If you use somebody like us, we can help you do it, or we can set you up on a platform if you want to do, if that person wants to do it themselves. Those platforms are not expensive. It's like $40 a month. So it is something that we can definitely show somebody how to do themselves. A lot of people are like, I don't want to forward the taxes. You do all that. But all those, things that I just spouted off, those forms, those are all Kentucky. There's all over the United States, everybody has different forms. I think Indiana's is the WHI, or I can't remember what the form number is for Indiana, but I know ours is K1, Indiana's is WH something. Um, and each city has their own tax as well. So when we do the payroll for somebody, we research their city, making sure we're getting all of their taxes paid. Because if you skip any, the penalties and interest are a beast. So, yeah, I would suggest anybody using a platform, no matter how many employees you got.
Sure, sure. Having someone who's a subject matter expert in all of that paperwork and compliance requirements can make the difference of, you know, your business sinking or swimming in some cases. So great, great to know that. Thanks so much, Kim. Do we have any other questions for Kimberly Good? Okay,
Guys.
thank you. Jennifer Johnson, the real Jennifer Johnson. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, I had myself on mute and on my phone. It's always confusing. I don't know how you're supposed to know all these things. Yes, I'm Jennifer Johnson, and it's good to see Kim. And I just would tell everybody that she was driving from Kentucky to Wisconsin and stopped at our open networking event that we had a couple weeks ago. And that's how she met a couple of us, and not everybody, but I'm just glad that she is been visiting and getting to know our members, who are all awesome people, and our visitors, Aaron, too. So anybody that finds their way to our meetings, I feel very, very honored that you're here. So thank you for both being here, and all of you that are regulars. But Jennifer Johnson, I guess I would just tell you, who do you know that is starting a business? Maybe maybe they don't have their payroll all figured out and all of that, but they're just trying to make some connections and start getting things done. We obviously have good connections for all of that, but we're also here to help you with some of the, I guess I think of the strategic, the success strategies, setting goals, getting out there. And lately, one of the things that has come up over and over and over again is the execution. I think that was on a call yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, and they all run together for me. But I think it was the idea that we can all sit around and all the things we talk about on Jot It Down and everything else that are our themes are they're just ideas until we actually put them into operation, or we actually go out and execute them. So we're here to do everything. I'm so glad Dawn goes through everything at the beginning, because there is a reason. There are things that we cover that are covered by the word rescue. But who do you know that's out there that they may have been in business for a long time? They may not have just started a new business, but either end of the spectrum, and anybody in between, there's probably always people looking for more connections. So, I'm talking from a TTR standpoint right now. I am here to hopefully make a lot of the connections for our visitors who maybe have no idea which group to jump on and those kind of things. So I'm a relationship marketing coach. I'm actually a silver certified coach with promptings, which is a whole different thing, but I can tell you more, and a lot of you know, but that's the send out card world. And I'm also a musician, and I just want to say really quick that I'm getting extremely excited about a concert we're doing. And these are basically for the locals, although Kim, we'd love to have you come and catch our gospel concert on Friday, August 18th. And I'm going to keep on pushing that out there, because it's a very exciting concert here in the Westfield area. I'm actually in Cicero, but the church is in Westfield. So I'm going to start really pushing the promotion. The church is Eagle Creek Evangelical Church. I'm sorry, Eagle Creek Evangelical Friends Church. Oh my gosh. Anyway, long title, but the church has been around for 50 years, and we're having a big celebration party for them in August. And hopefully it's the beginning of a number of other concerts that we're having. I'm actually working on a bunch of stuff right now that will be posting out on TTR as well. I mean, I own TTR, so I can do whatever I want, but it's also just a great, I know you guys are out there looking and sharing. So if you, even if it's not of interest to you, maybe somewhere you can share it or somebody you can let them know about it. Anyway, we are here.
What time is that?
Connections. It is, oh yes, Aaron, the musician guy, the music theory guy. That is actually at Eagle Creek Friends Church, Evangelical Friends Church, on Friday, August 18th, and it's at 7. And it'll be out there, Aaron, and it'll be sent out. We're in the process, like I said earlier, we're getting a new website. We're putting a lot of things out there on social media. We have my assistant, who's assisting everybody in the group, I think, but we're really going to try to promote this. So any channels that you can help us with, that would be great. And, we'd love to have you come and attend. If you like gospel music, I think it'll be a fun evening. It features a number of the Indiana Gospel Music Association members. So I'm excited about that. Thanks for asking, Aaron.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing all that you do, Jennifer Johnson. Do we have any questions for Jennifer this evening? Okay. Well, I have saved myself for last. Pardon. Just had to wet my throat. My name is Dawn Evans Casey, and in addition to leading Collaborating Connections, I have my company is Spa Travel. It's a full service travel agency. We are here to help you with your travel planning and booking and making sure that all of the successful to-dos within your travel are checked off your list. I want my clients to be able to give them back their time, where I use my expertise, knowledge of travel business, and connections with vendors from coast to coast and around the world to assist you with identifying your ideal travel experience and bringing that to life. Our company's motto is relaxed adventure. So anything that you're into, whether your vacation or travel getaway is business or pleasure, we want to make sure that you get the most out of it and have the least amount of stress as you go. So if you know of anybody who's looking forward to a travel event in the future, or that's you yourself, whether an individual or a group, and you need someone to talk about your options for transportation, for your destination, whether that's a hotel, an all-inclusive resort, a cruise, a destination rail situation, Spa Travel is here to help. Additionally, my husband and I have a genealogy nonprofit called Claiming Your Roots, where we help multi-generational families come together, learn the basics of genealogy and family history research, get their research done based upon the skill sets of their family members participating, and pulling all of that great data, pictures, information into a keepsake project that they can continue to build on and pass down to future generations. In addition to that, I have worked with Nicole Williams, who is part of the TTR networking family, and she is an expert blogger. And I have since kicked off my blog, which is Cheerful Chocolate Spirit. Chocolate is a topic that I am passionate about, have always loved. And this blog is lighthearted, fun, recipes, poetry, pictures, celebrations of chocolate holidays, and thoughts about chocolate. Both the healthy forms, because I happen to be diabetic, as well as the decadent chocolate that I have always loved. So if you are like-minded and enjoy touching base, reading about Seeing Chocolate, feel free to peruse my blog, Cheerful Chocolate Spirit, on Facebook. I think that's about all, but if anybody's got any questions or comments about any of the topics that I've shared, I'd be happy to share further. Anybody? Okay. As I mentioned earlier, we'll do a follow-up email to everyone on the call and all of the collaborating connections members who are not present. I do want to give a shout out to our other members, CB Bjork, who is our photography and drone guy. CB's on vacation this week with his family, so we're looking forward to seeing him back happy and healthy next week. But if you have any photography needs or drone photography needs, CB is your guy. And additionally, we have Melissa Johnson, who is a financial representative with Primerica. So if you're interested in evaluating your current financial status, are interested in pursuing some life insurance products, or want to get your finances in line, help with improving credit, etc., Melissa Johnson with Primerica is a great contact. Let me see. I think I've covered everyone. You think, Jennifer? Oh, yes, Kimberly?
How is CB doing? Has anybody talked to him after his surgery? Is he doing
Yeah.
good?
Yes, they had him up and walking following his surgery, I believe the same day. I texted him the day after, and he was feeling relief. So yeah, I certainly hope that he is able to enjoy his family trip in Florida this week. But it sounds like that surgery was on his knee was exactly what he needed to get going again. Thanks for asking. Okay.
Good memory.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
I don't think he likes it though.
What's that?
My boyfriend says the same thing. You remember everything. He's like, but I don't think that he loves it.
A curse and a blessing sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, we are at 7:17, so I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to touch base on our professional development topic. Our theme for the month of July is Jot It Down. And I mentioned earlier, having attended the IBE Business Expo downtown, yesterday we had a panel discussion with representatives from the purchasing departments of the city, state, educational groups, colleges around Indiana, as well as some of the major private and public organizations. And they wanted to share information on, let's see, doing business with small business, minority-owned, women-owned, veteran-owned businesses. So it was such a pleasure to talk with them and hear the constant message of these organizations throughout Indiana are interested in our success. So coming to share with us over the 2 days, there were lots of great ideas. And since this is Jot It Down month, I wanted to go through the list of recommendations that they shared of what not to do. Things that we can do to be better prepared and make sure that we avoid, so that we can have effective conversations and interactions when we are seeking contracts and projects and just working with a new set of potential clients. So to start off with, the number one was don't get frustrated because things don't move fast. Don't blame the representatives of those organizations for the slow process. Oftentimes, in working with small business, minority groups, women-owned, or the veterans groups, there is a set process to go through that can be quite arduous. And the reason for that is they want to make sure that the small business is ready, that the process works and can go forward without manipulation or fraud and people taking advantage from all sides. So they stressed, don't get frustrated for the process. They also shared, be sure to listen to the guidance and recommendations that come from those purchasing departments. Oftentimes, they have worked with hundreds and hundreds of vendors and businesses, and they've seen the what works and what doesn't work. And so be sure to listen to the guidance and recommendations. The next one is don't hesitate to ask questions. And please don't make assumptions about how the process works. They reiterated the old adage, a lot of people don't have if they don't ask. So asking questions is not a bad thing. Clarifying details of what's needed is important. And I heard over and over again, I don't know if you all hear very much the same concept, but business plans are good, but they want to hear capacity statements. What is your capability? What is your capacity to do business with them? And oftentimes when we're talking about big business throughout Indiana, we think that because we're small business, we may not have the capacity to be able to meet the contracts or the programs, the opportunities that they have available. But there are often opportunities for us to work with other businesses within our same industry to meet the guidelines or the goals of the contracts and projects that are out there. So to not think, don't think ourselves out of an opportunity. Ask the questions, find out how we can be successful and thrive with these organizations. Let's see. That kind of went along with don't say what you want to do for them, say what you can do for them. I think that works in any situations with your clientele. Not to speak on the best case scenario, this is what I'd love to do for you, especially if there are snags in you fulfilling those promises. So always speak on what you know you can do. Don't hide your mistakes. Oftentimes when you are working with companies, whether they're public, private, state, government, etc., they have access to talk to others and perhaps, others within their own industry, others who may have interacted with you in your business previous. So don't hide your mistakes. Make sure that you can express how, as CB always says, he's either winning or learning. There is no losing. Sometimes you have to utilize that mistake, that problem as a growth opportunity and explain how you work through it. Don't ignore deadlines. Most times with companies, when they put out proposals or ask for information, there is a firm deadline. And to make sure that we organize our time in preparing our proposal in an appropriate time frame to be able to meet that. Don't come to the table unprepared. Do your research. Google people and companies who may be your potential clients and customers. Make sure that the conversation remains respectful and know your social capital. Know what you can do be able to articulate the background of your business, your company, and how you can meet their needs. Another, don't fail to collaborate with others to meet the required opportunities of a contract. Again, I loved that one. You know, we are collaborating connections. We do more than just collaborate for the sake of providing wonderful referrals. We collaborate to grow our business, to meet others who are in our field who may offer something a little bit different, and we can often collaborate together to make our businesses better. So don't be afraid of that. Don't fail to get certified. So as I'm looking at our group right here, you know, we've got women-owned businesses, we've got minority businesses, and there are certifications out there at the city, state, and Midwest level where we can get certified. Often, and in most cases, the certification process may take time, but can be done for free or low cost. So there are lots of companies that will work with us to make sure that we can get our applicable certifications to make us eligible to work with large organizations. Let's see. Don't forget to use business-to-business contacts, which is what we're doing right here. Networking amongst business owners to get ideas and to grow and thrive. Don't hesitate to start conversations, even if you aren't certified or completely ready. Oftentimes, companies and organizations are willing to work with us where we are to get us to the place where we can be effective in participating in contracts and projects around the state. So that was my list of the don'ts. I know some of that information is stuff that we already know, but it's always good to kind of rehash and know from the other side, what are the expectations of small business, minority-owned business, women-owned business to be able to be successful and thrive, especially in the state of Indiana. So with that being said, I'm going to open the floor. Are there any comments or additional questions about the what not to do's that can help us all?
We just talk a lot about being authentic, Dawn, and being who you are. And it sounds like that a lot of this is respecting who you're talking to and being honest that maybe you don't understand everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being authentic, I
Yes.
guess. And I guess I'm always saying, not just me, but I mean, I think we're always saying that because we want people, you know, it's true, right? I mean, nobody wants to do business with you if you sound too perfect or if you're whatever. But your whole stuff about, you know, don't say what you can do, not what you want to do for them. And don't hide your mistakes. When you said those, I was like, oh, I think some people would like, oh man, I made a mistake. Not that they would say that to the person, but they would then try to figure out, how do I cover it up? Maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing business in some of the bigger, you know, but I feel like over the years, if anything has been a constant, it's been, you know, we're all learning, and we got to be honest when we don't understand something. And if you make a mistake, just be honest. I don't know. Am I up the right tree? Something, is that
Yeah,
something?
yeah. What I got out of the many discussions, I really liked that idea of a capability statement. And honestly, I hadn't heard that so much in my industries, in my areas of business. But it really makes sense that that is a very effective way of connecting with a potential client or customer to be able to clearly articulate, exactly what are my capabilities that may assist you.
Right.
And again, it doesn't sound like fluff. It doesn't sound grandiose, but it's pretty much straightforward and allows my potential client, whether it's big business, or another individual, just a consumer who's interested in my products or services, to be able to say, does that resonate with me? Is that what I need? And gives you a place to move forward from a lot easier than when they don't even understand what your business is about or who you are. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. Any areas as we go through the month of Jot It Down, and I mentioned that our discussion around this topic is usually a lot about the resources and tools that we utilize on a routine basis that work well for us and what we can share with each other. So I want you to keep that in mind this month. If you've got a customer database that works well for you, if you've got an app or a resource that really helps keep your business well organized, that we want you to bring that knowledge to the table and share with each other during our Jot It Down July. So we look forward to seeing each and every one of you next Tuesday. I will get the recording posted to YouTube and share that on our Collaborating Connections Facebook page. And I'll also have a link of that in the follow-up email. So that's information that you can share to your customer base or to others that you network with. And my last statement, of course, for those who may be in our listening audience, please, if you're interested in checking us out, coming to talk about yourself and your business, we would love to meet you. So reach out to us through one of our many formats, and we'll look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, we're at 7:31, so I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. We look forward to seeing you again, and have a wonderfully prosperous and enjoyable rest of the week. Take care, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Be careful.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks, John.
You're welcome.